something always feels off about a flat photo. You can't explain it, but you know it. The subject doesn't pop. The eye wanders. The whole thing looks unfinished. That missing piece is a vignette. It's one of the simplest edits, but it changes everything, adding depth, focus, and that professional polish that makes the photo look complete. The good news, you don't need to be a pro to do it. I'll walk you through the exact steps in Canva and Photoshop. Two different tools, same easy result. By the end of this, you'll know how to make every single photo look finished, not flat.
So, to add the vignette in Canva, upload your photo. Then, click on the photo and find the Edit option in the top bar above the canvas. Here, click on the Edit option and look for a section called Adjust. Click on it and scroll down until you find the Texture section. Here, under the Sharpness and Clarity, you can see a slider for the vignette effect. So now use the vignette slider to create an effect. You should know that moving the slider right will darken the edges, while moving the slider left will make them lighter. In my experience, the strength of your vignette matters. I've learned that subtle vignettes often work better than strong ones. Start with a small adjustment and increase it slowly until you get the look you want. Using vignettes is a simple way to improve many types of photos, such as portraits, landscapes, product photos, or social media posts. So, if you want to add a vignette to your photo, you first need to open it in Photoshop. The photo will show up as a background layer, but it's locked. You will need to unlock it before you can do anything else. To work with the photo, you should convert it to a smart object, and this is easy. Just unlock and select the layer with your photo and then click on the filter in the upper menu. Now find a convert to smart filters and click on it. In the next step, still editing the layer with the photo, go back to the filter again and now find a camera raw filter. Now in the camera raw filter window, look for effects. That is where all the important stuff you need for adding a vignette to your photo. Under the effect, you will see something called vignetting. This is where you can make your vignette darker or lighter, and it works so simple. Moving the slider right makes the edges brighter, while moving the slider left makes the edges darker. What I like is that there are multiple styles for vignettes. You have a highlight priority that helps bright spots in your photo shine through the vignette. Then you have a color priority, which is great for keeping color strong. And the last one is paint overlay, which is perfect for a classic professional photo look. You can also change a midpoint to make the vignette bigger or smaller. Then you can change roundness to customize the shape from round to square. And you also have something called feathering that can make the edges soft or sharp. In my experience, dark vignettes work great for portraits, while light vignettes are perfect for dreamy, bright photos. Also, the medium feathering usually looks most natural, and the roundness at about 50% often works best.
So now you've seen how to add a vignette in Canva and Photoshop. The steps are simple, sure, but let's pause for a second and talk about why this small adjustment matters so much. Because on paper, a vignette looks like nothing. A faded shadow around the edges doesn't sound like much. But when you see it in action, you realize it's not about a shadow. It's about where the viewer's eyes land and where they stay. Photography is all about directing attention. You've got a subject in the middle of the frame, but the edges of your image are competing for attention too. Bright corners, empty space, messy backgrounds, all of those pull the eye away. A vignette solves that problem instantly. It quiets down the noise at the edges and pulls everything back to the center. It's like underlining a sentence without anyone realizing you've underlined it. That's the real power of a vignette. It's invisible. Nobody looks at your photo and says, "Oh, nice vignette." They just say, wow, that looks good. And that's the whole point. Editing isn't supposed to scream at you. It's supposed to make the image feel natural, balanced, finished. Think about it. In film, every shot is designed to guide your attention. Lighting, framing, lens choices, they all work together to focus your eye. Photographers and filmmakers have known for decades that the edges of a frame can either strengthen the subject or weaken it. A vignette is one of the fastest ways to strengthen it. It takes your everyday photo and gives it that same cinematic feel. There's also an emotional side to this. A vignette adds mood. Darkening the edges can make a photo feel intimate, nostalgic, even dramatic. Brightening them can do the opposite, opening up the frame, making it feel lighter and more spacious. It's a tiny adjustment that shifts the entire atmosphere of the picture, and that's what separates a casual snapshot from something that feels intentional. Another reason this matters: consistency. If you're sharing photos online, whether it's social media, a portfolio, or a business page, small edits like vignettes give your feed a consistent look. They create a rhythm. People might not know why your photos look cohesive, but they'll feel it. And that feeling is what builds trust and professionalism. And here's something personal. I used to skip vignettes all the time. I thought they were optional, but whenever I compared my before and after shots, the difference was obvious. Without a vignette, my photos looked unfinished, almost flat. With one, they had depth, focus, and mood. The kind of difference you only notice when you put the two versions side by side. So don't think of vignettes as something extra. Think of them as one of those small details that separates amateurs from people who care about their craft. It doesn't matter whether you're editing on Canva, Photoshop, or anything else. The principle is the same. Guide the eye, control the mood, finish the frame. That's why vignettes matter. That's why they're worth the extra 30 seconds in your edit. And now you know exactly how to do it.